So the week of the singles continues. We got deadlifts. Um, I'm kind of feeling like how I did yesterday with the bench press. Um, like bench press yesterday. I didn't know if I was gonna hit on the rats and go up to the 440 for an all-time PR or just progressive overload and do more weight for our top single than we did last time. And that's kind of where I'm at with the deadlifts. I don't know if I want to go for a all-time PR because I did the math, right? And I could for sure, after how 585 for three felt last week, like fucking smooth, pretty much free. With how that felt, I could definitely handle the new weight um, that we would be doing for the 3x5, 3x3 if we were to go for a all-time PR because I would want to go for 645. Um, so we could handle it definitely, which definitely gives us confidence to hit 645 today. But at the same time, bro, I'm not feeling like, oh, let's go for this fucking max right now. You know what I mean? So I think I'm just gonna play the same way I did bench press. Really feel out the warm up, really feel out that last set, and then if it feels really good, we'll go for that all-time PR. If not, we'll go for heavier than what we did last time, which would be 630. And at that point, we will have to go for at least a PR attempt next training block because 630 will be 5 pounds away from my all-time PR, which is currently 635. So either go for 630 for the top single or 645 for an all-time PR. Um, the warm-up will tell. But yeah, based off of the how 585 felt, just seeing if I want to do this in socks today. Really become one with the platform. Okay. Might have to save that little power up for if we decide to go for all-time PR. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, with how the 585 felt last week, no matter what we go or decide to go up to, we should be able to do it 100%. Like if we can't today, it's definitely more of a mental thing. Like fucking 2 working sets of the 3, our usual shit, and then just like going up to 585, but not only that, having it move the way that it did. Like, come on now. So, regardless of what we do, even if Ryan's not here, because he's not here, he didn't tell me, we should be able to hit. No matter what we do, we should be able to hit it. But yeah, we gotta wait to see how the warm-up feels. You know what I'm saying? Right. Ripped that so hard we almost lost our balance. Falling backwards. It's a good sign, I think. You know? I think we are slowly approaching that type of feeling that we have on bench with deadlift squats, and it's a fucking beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Like, bench, right, has been feeling exceptional. Like, I'm in a place where I am so confident in my form to the point where I've gone to a place with my form where we no longer have to work on correcting like big things. You know what I mean? We're just at a point where it's like little things. You know what I'm saying? That I'm noticing, you know, as just like focusing on, you know, bar paths, staying tight in the lats and shit like that, you know, but in terms of the bigger picture, we got that shit locked, you know, and the strength has just also followed, and we've been feeling really fucking good with the bench, just getting a lot stronger, and then just like having that good form. Crazy. And I feel like we're approaching that with the deads and the squats. It's been a while since I've had, like, as proven evident by last week with the 585, and then again last week with the fucking squat as well. We went up to off camera, and I have the video on my phone, just not on the vlog, so don't fucking try it, right? I do have video proof. But fucking even the squats last week, we went up to, I think it was 515 for 3, and I felt like shit that day on top of that, you know? So we were just approaching just like nirvana with all our lifts, and it feels fucking amazing, dude. Fucking amazing. Yeah, like even the deads, you know, when it comes to working on shit, it's more of just like, I can't even think of anything that I could do right now in the deads to just improve myself besides just fucking pulling harder off the ground. You know what I mean? Not kind of just like waiting until, because that would be the one thing I will say. I have like this habit of, number one, not staying tight throughout the movement. So like if I get to a point where like it's coming off the ground fast, I kind of just loosen up a little bit, you know what I mean? Instead of just staying tight throughout the whole movement. And then also, sometimes I'll do the opposite, and I'm just not really pulling or staying tight off the ground, right? Like I'm kind of just like once I start to see it move off the ground is when I decide to really like fucking use that full power. You know what I mean? So I guess overall, you could just group it into one thing, just not using all my power at the beginning, and then just staying consistent with that throughout the whole lift. I would say that's the one thing that we need to work on, if I had to say.
I kept staying.
Dude, the gym is fucking empty today, man. Empty. I know there's some people out there that like, you know, having empty gyms. And I like having an empty gym, but only when I'm recording my content, like the hip thrusts and shit, for obvious reasons. But when it comes to lifting, I mean, I don't like it to be fucking packed because then you gotta wait for everything. But I don't know, man. I kind of like having an audience when I'm lifting because it kind of just like gives you that like insane buff. It's kind of like the cameraman buff, you know what I mean? But it's like the on-camera buff, you know? Where it's just like metaphorically on camera, like everybody's watching you. And then it's like if you fail, you look like a fucking dumbass, and if you get it, you feel like the man. So it's like high stakes, kind of, I guess. And the eyes being on you is like the metaphorically on camera, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do this. See, that's what I'm trying to get more into. So it's like getting in there and kind of just pulling that slack out. And then once we feel that, you know what I mean? Like we feel that tension, we're like walking to the bar, fucking exploding, like pulling with that power and then keeping it tight for the whole entire movement. You know what I'm saying? So that would definitely help us achieve heavier weights and close into that 700. I fully believe that we could hit 700. Like, if we hit the same stride that we did on bench press, we can definitely fucking hit 700 before the year's over. Like, to put in perspective, the type of stride that we hit on bench, bro, I literally went, like, this year, bro, like, literally this fucking year, because in the beginning of the year, I don't believe I was that vintage yet, right? Maybe I was. Maybe I was. So I will say, like, we've been here for a minute, but like, to put it in perspective, right? The type of stride that I hit on bench, I haven't even been like coming here for a whole year, because this fucking win streak with the bench started while I was at vintage, right? So I haven't even been coming here for a full year. And we were able to go from literally struggling. Let me just start all over, because I feel like I'm being too complicated. Let me simplify this shit. The type of stride that we hit on bench, right? So at first, I was literally struggling to even hit like 390 for a single on bench. And sometimes, like, for my top singles, I wouldn't even get it. Like, I couldn't just like do 390 for the top single and then like the next singles go heavier. Like, I had to try to do 390 again, because I either wouldn't get it or it would just be super fucking sloppy, air humping the shit out of the air just to get it, like something I would not count, you know? And then like we started hitting this crazy stride on bench press. It was around the time where I switched to more of a competitional style, having that little pause and then up, so making it even harder. But yeah, just really focusing on form and whatnot. And I hit this fucking crazy stride where literally in a couple weeks, bro, I would say maybe like 2 months. What do you think, around that? I don't know where I'm going with this story, bro. I'm gonna do this shit. I'm gonna clear my fucking head, and then I've realized that fucking cameraman doesn't even know what the hell I'm talking about. So like, I'm like fucking up my thoughts all over the place, man. Like, having a thought orgasm and just like splooging my thoughts all over the fucking place. No one knows what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna do this shit real quick, and then like I'm gonna collect my thoughts, and then we're gonna try one more fucking time. And if we can't get it, we're just gonna fucking drop it. Let's try to be one with the platform real quick. See if it's better this way, or with the power burps. Feels good. Feels good. Anyways, we're gonna try this one more time. One more fucking time. So, I'm saying if I can hit the same stride on deadlift and squat, deadlift in this case, because we're talking about deadlift, that I hit on bench, I feel like I can definitely close in, maybe even past 700 by the end of the year. Because the stride that we hit with bench is we were in a place where we were struggling to even do 3x5s, 3x3s, top singles. We couldn't get it. Plenty of times where I would do 385 and I would either fail or it'd be so fucking sloppy that like next top singles, I couldn't even add on more weight. I had to just hit it again and try to hit it more smooth or at least get it. And then we started dialing in on form, getting our confidence up with the bench press as well. And we hit this crazy fucking stride where in a couple of months, we went from barely being able to do like 385, 390 to fucking like hitting 405 easily. Like I could literally load up 405 and I've done it before. No warm up and hit that shit. Literally one time I was fucking recording the Enter Kev Dog vids and I had to go up to 405 and on a whim I was like, let me not just use like training footage. Let me just put this shit on and do it. You know, no warm up. And I actually hit it, you know, and then we've been able to do like crazy exaggerated pauses with 410, 415, you know, got our max all the way up to fucking 430 pounds, bro. 430 pounds, you know? So if I can hit a stride like that, dude, I could definitely close on 700 like this summer, you know? But we have to get to that stride. So just like looking at like sometimes stepping back and being like, where can I improve my deadlift? Like we've already done, talking about keeping the power throughout the movement, you know, and then implementing that, keep training that, you know, just like really dial in on the things that are going to help us improve the weight, you know, get those numbers up, you know, and then get into that stride. Because with the confidence up as well, confidence will do fucking wonders for your lifts, bro. You can literally like, dude, I'll say like fucking confidence, that shit adds on weight, bro. Because I've said this a million times. I've gone into lifts, no confidence, overthinking, and I've failed, you know, and then I've literally come back and hit fucking 40 pounds more than the shit that I failed on just because I was feeling more confident that day. You know what I mean? So just dialing in on that form, getting that confidence up. We definitely got 700 before the year is over, 100%. All right, we got on one more warm up until the 90%. So we're gonna do this. And like I said, really feel it out. We're gonna do this. Hit on the 90%. Take a little break before we do that. Give like a really good fucking shock massage to Barbella and really feel that out. And then decide whether or not we want that 645 or if we just want to go for that 630. Feeling good, man. That's probably the smoothest to warm up for top singles it's felt in a minute. It definitely felt easier so far than last singles warm up, and we were able to go up to 625 pretty easily last singles. So it's looking good. It's looking good. Barbella is telling us nothing but sweet, sexy, arousing things right now. But we're gonna go ahead and get that. What is it? 470 something, I think. Go back and check. Yeah, 570. So we're gonna get that on, take a little break, hit that up, and then if it feels just as good as that shit did, we're gonna go for that 645. Gotta find that one good song. This song is important because it's not gonna take me fucking, 3, 4, whatever minutes, however long a song is, to do this set and the next set. So this is an important song because this is gonna be the song that we're listening to for this, and then also what we do next for the last set. So it's important shit. Now we get into the real chalk massage. Fucking waiting, bro. All fucking deadlift session for this so far. Oh, fucking come at me. Come here, come here. Again, dude, felt lighter than fucking 90% has ever felt. So I think we have to go for that 640 attempt or 645. So let me just say this. Best case scenario, since we've been working on that, like best case scenario, we've been working on just holding power from start to finish, just like pulling that slack out and then fucking exploding, right? So best case scenario, we solidify that. That sends us into nirvana, just like where the bench is right now. And 645 feels good. And then next training block, we can go for another fucking PR. Because that's exactly what we did for bench. Like, we were able to get 3 back-to-back all-time PRs. Like the last top 3, all PRs, you know? And then it would make sense to do that because we do have a deload next week too. So we'd be going into next training block feeling good. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, we don't get it. I mean, that's obviously the fucking worst. And then even if it does, like, even if we do get it and it doesn't feel as good as I would want it to like go for a PR next time, I'd still be happy. You know, it's an all-time PR, but I'm hoping that the best case scenario, that shit feels smooth, all that shit. And then we have the deload next week, next training block, and we can go for, even bigger shit and just have 2 back-to-back singles weeks where we can close in more on that 700 pound. Just want to make sure the calculations are right real quick, just because I have an irrational fear of just pitting on weight whenever I do go for a PR, doing it, and then coming back and being like, oh, it's not actually, like it's less weight than I actually meant to go for. I've had that happen before. Absolute fucking heartbreak. Like that shit gives you knots in your stomach. I'd rather get cheated on and watch it happen than fucking go for an all-time PR, do it, and then fucking recalculate it. Turns out I was wrong and it's actually less. And I mean that shit. 585 plus 50 plus 10. Yeah, 645. All right. You know the drill. Anyone that needs to hear this has overthinking problems with their maxes. We're not going to think of this as 645. We're going to think of this as only 20 pounds more than what we did last week. Easy shit. We're going to think of this as something that we're going to hit for reps. You know what I'm saying? We're not just going to think of it as 645 heavy ass pounds, because that is when you are more likely to look at it, analyze it, and be like, oh shit, this is heavy. Makes you more likely to overthink it. So This is nothing but 20 pounds more than what we just did, and not that much more weight more than what we just did for the warm up. Is that my shit? Come on. Come on, make a joke of this shit. Come on. It's a fucking joke to me. So that was like best case scenario. I mean, that shit felt really fucking right, bro. Like it felt like I definitely could have gotten that for a potential 2. So we are going to take the deload next week. We are going to hit the next training block, continuing to focus on just fucking power. As soon as we pull that slack out, getting that confidence together, and we're gonna go for another PR. Considering how that moves, I would love to kind of jump the gun and go for 560. Because if I go for a PR right after I already got one pretty recently, I like to just shoot up for high numbers because it's really not that big of a fucking deal. You know, because if we don't get it, all right, we just got a max. You know what I mean? It's not like one of those things where it's a really important PR because we've been plateaued for a minute, you know? So I think next week, everything goes well, we're gonna try to go for 660. So.